Hey everyone, how's it going? Welcome back. Welcome to our fortnightly news update on everything that's been happening in the English Pokemon TCG. We've delayed a day because of Christmas, but we'll be back on track in the next one. Now, hopefully, Pokemon has niced me and not done too much news after I'm doing this initial filming, because I am going away for Christmas. But if you see me suddenly popping up in new different locations, you'll know what happened. But without further ado, let's get into the news. First up, very tiny update on some previous news. The McDonald's set, which we've talked about being released in France already, has been officially confirmed to be released in Austria in the middle of January. Now, Austria does get German cards, so this isn't 100% a confirmation of an English release yet. But as I said previously, the only times where there have been McDonald's cards that weren't released in English, they were French only. So I would say the fact that we now know there are going to be non-French copies, that would lean me more heavily towards the idea that there are going to be English versions of these. One slight quick update that I just found out from someone who commented on a recent video. So those Pokemon Horizons promos that we talked about, there was the Sprigatito and the Fuecoco that came in the Grand Collection box over here. If you remember, recently we talked about how the Sprigatito actually had a different copyright date on the UK or European release. Well, we were wondering if Fuecoco was going to have that same problem too, and apparently what happened was the preview image that was on the UK Pokemon Center showed Fuecoco with the incorrect Pokédex entry, but then the actual card that they got given had the correct one and did match the Grand Adventure box. So a very weird one, but it seems like there is no additional card to worry about there. And next, a very quick product announcement. They've announced 3 new stacking tins which are going to be released. They released stacking tins, I think, through most of this year, and eventually they released one for every type. So this new set of 3 are actually going to be themed around different Pokemon. You're going to be able to get the Treasures of Ruin, the Mysterious Paradox Pokemon, or Ogerpon. These release March 7th, they each come with a few booster packs and some sticker sheets, so there's not actually going to be any kind of exclusive cards or anything in here, which is why I guess the people who watch my videos probably don't need to worry about them as much, but always worth mentioning the products anyway. Another release that has been announced for March 7th are the Worlds 2024 decks. As with all previous years, these will be 4 decks that finished very high at Worlds, and these are going to be full 60-card replicas of those decks. They'll, of course, all be non-foil. They'll have the winner's signature on every card, and they'll have non-standard card backs, making them non-tournament legal. The 4 decks that have been picked this year are Iron Thorns EX from Fernando Cifuentes, the Masters Division champion, Miraidon EX from Jesse Parker, Masters Division 3rd place, someone from Ohio, and someone who probably should have been a finalist, but I'm not going to get into that too much on here. Regidrago V-Star from Evan Pavalski, the Seniors Division champion, and Ancient Box from Sakuya Ota, Junior Division champion. In addition to the actual decks, these will come with things like a pin, a coin, a booklet, basically the same as in all previous years if you've ever seen any of these before. They're of course all fixed, so if it's something you like, you just need to go out and grab them. Don't need to worry about pulling anything specific. I know these are pretty divisive, some people really like these decks and some don't. Personally, I've been grabbing the ones from the last few years. I have them around though, they're all still just sealed. At some point I'll open them and make up some nice binders, but for now, they're just around, I guess. We do now finally have a bit of an update on the Asia tournament promos. We've talked quite a bit this year about those different challenges that have been going on. The Premier Ball, the Great Ball, the Ultra Ball, and towards the end of the year, Master Ball. One of the big things we've been talking about is whether or not Great Ball and Ultra Ball would change their promos between Season 1 and Seasons 2 and 3. Obviously, Great Ball for Season 1 had Earthen Vessel for participants and Pidgeot EX for the top 2 in each tournament, and then the Ultra Ball had Professor Two Rose Scenario for the participants, and then that coveted Mew EX for the top 4. Well, we finally have a bit of an answer due to the fact that Malaysia just started Season 2 of the Great Ball Leagues, and it is definitely not what I would have expected. You see, what they've done is they have released a new participant promo. Participants within Season 2 are going to get Night Stretcher as opposed to Earthen Vessel. However, the top 2 of each event are still going to get the Pidgeot EX, the same as Season 1. Or I guess to cover my bases, that's what the top 2 of the very first event of Season 2 in Malaysia got the Pidgeot EXs again, confirmed that with a friend over there. So going forward, if Ultra Ball stays true to that trend, it will probably mean Professor Two Rose is getting replaced with something else for Seasons 2 and 3, but hopefully it does mean that Mew EX is going to stay, and there'll be more hitting the market, because, like I said, that's a very sought-after one. A lot of people are chasing that one down. And it does also likely mean that Great Ball and Ultra Ball will have a third participation promo when we get to Season 3, but we are a few months out from that yet. And since we are talking about tournaments, there is a new Regionals promo, starting with Regionals in Toronto, which happened earlier this month. The Regionals promo is now Surfer. Surfer is the first promo which features this new updated Regionals logo, matching with the new IC logo that we saw on the Portuguese Buddy Buddy Poffin back at LAIC. I would guess that we're going to get this Surfer at a few more Regionals, but honestly, who knows? I mean, I think we only got Carmine for one single Regionals. So obviously, as soon as it changes again, I'll let you guys know. And this Surfer does, of course, come in both player and staff version. Last thing that popped up is a thing I wasn't totally sure if I was going to actually mention. So, some people appear to have gotten a hold of some Prismatic evolutions early. They got a hold of some of the ETBs, more than likely stolen from somewhere. And they chose to open the packs on Whatnot on a live stream, because I guess that has the least accountability of anywhere. And so while they did reveal all of the special illustration rares and everything like that, thanks to having the booklet from the ETB, I'm not going to go into that. I'm still going to leave it as people to get surprised if they want, if they don't want to know. I'm just going to talk about a few of the relevant things that are going to be, for us who are collecting it, things we're going to need to know. And these concern the reverse hollows for the set. Now, we already knew that the set was going to have Pokeball reverse hollows and Master Ball reverse hollows. That had already been announced, similar to, Japanese 151, where if you opened that, you got a Pokeball reverse in most packs, and once per box, so once every 10 packs, you got a Master Ball reverse instead. Well, it seems by the way that the ETB booklet is laid out, the cards in the set don't just have a regular version, a Pokeball reverse, and a Master Ball reverse. They have a regular version, a regular reverse version, a Pokeball reverse version, and a Master Ball version. So there are 4 boxes next to the Pokemon in the ETB booklet for you to check off. So we're really still going to have to see when it comes out how rare those are. I think in terms of putting together, a complete master set, I don't think this is going to affect it too much, because we were already looking at 32 special illustration rares. We were already looking at those Master Ball reverses. So it's still just going to come down to how rare the Master Balls are. The fact that everything also has another regular reverse, that's not going to affect it, really, because those are going to be so much more common than at least the Master Balls, potentially more common than the Pokeballs too. One thing that actually will affect it, and will hopefully make it easier to fully complete a master set, when they were showing off all of the full arts and illustrations and everything like that at the back of the ETB booklet, one of the pages they showed had a couple of regular trainers on it, and we can see from that the regular trainers don't appear to have Master Ball versions. So all of the trainer cards in the set, from what we can assume, what we can infer from what we see, are just going to have regular reverses and Pokeball reverses. That is going to be a big handful less of Master Ball reverses to get a hold of. And I guess it's less feel bad, because if you're opening stuff and you finally spike a Master Ball reverse and it's a trainer, no matter how good the trainer is, people are going to be a bit bummed. People are wanting the Master Balls on their Pokemon. Only other thing to mention from the ETB booklet, which again, I'm not actually going to show this, one of the 2 special illustration rare EVs has been held back for the Ultra Premium Collection, which is coming later in the year. It was suspected that something like that would be held back for that Premium Collection, but we don't have photos of that yet. As I said, there's a lot more information out there about the set list, about the special illustration rares, that kind of thing. I'm not going to put that stuff on here. I'm trying to just get over the information. I'm not going to go into any of that other stuff, because I know there are going to be people who don't want to see that. They're not going to want to know all of that stuff until the official Pokemon release, or at least until they can get their own hands on their ETBs. And of course, things such as rarity of Master Balls compared to Pokeballs, or even Pokeballs compared to regular reverses, we're just going to have to wait and see until the set releases, and we'll know a bit better on that.
We would like to say a huge thank you to everyone who chooses to support the DJ Gigabyte channel on Patreon. Join us to help out and get a look behind the scenes.
Thanks for watching. Check out some more videos right here.
And don't forget to subscribe for more awesome Pokemon content from DJ Gigabyte.
Gotta catch 'em all!